Urban Smart Studios.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This Tommy Guns of iNation Live. You're watching me on Urban Smart Network.
Look, man, it's your boy Heartbeat, man. Number one show in history, go. 14 years going strong. We right, never wrong. I am a subliminal criminal, keeping it minimal, dependable, any direction, erection, life section, light brown complexion, erection, words of protection. That's right, number one show in history, go from Metro World to your favorite boy and girl. Coming to you live from the East Coast, y'all know what to do, man. Going to the West Coast right now. iNation Live, that's right, iNation Live with the legendary, the one and only, formerly of N.E.G, Northeast Group. Before they were smoke, it was this guy right here.
Hey, Tommy Guns here. Hey, I thought I smelled the go-go, man. They say it's in L.A. this weekend, man.
Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for the one and only. Tommy Guns is in the house, straight from
Yes,
L.A.
sir.
What it do, legend?
Hey, man, I love you.
I love you more,
Heartbeat.
man.
You know. Hey, Heartbeat, I'm so happy to see you, man.
Man, let me tell you
Happy to
this,
see
man.
you, man.
You are a legend. Tommy Guns. Look, ladies and gentlemen, for all y'all looking right now, y'all know who Northeast Blue is. This guy was the original conga player from Northeast Growers. It's a story within a story, man. And I just got to commend you, man. You got a big movement going on out in LA right now, keeping the culture alive, representing the genre to a level in a magnitude that no one ever thought could be done in LA, man. We're going to talk about that. But first and foremost, let's dive a little bit into your history, man. Let everybody know who you are. For like 2 or 3 people who don't know who you are, but everybody knows, the masses know who you are, man. Let's start from the absolute beginning, man, and how we got to the situation that you're embarking on that.
Oh, man. I'm Tommy Guns, man. N.E.G for life.
Yes, sir.
Everybody know that. And for the people that don't know that, man, we started this mission a long time ago.
Yes, you did.
With Cummins Electric Sounds on Minnesota Avenue. And this was way back in the early 80s, man. We started Northeast Groovers when I was 11 years old, man.
That was what, 80 what?
That was around 80, I want to say 82, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, 82, really? 83. Yeah. Northeast was out that long ago, man. And me and my cousin, me and Kyrie, we the original from Northeast. We actually was the only members that was actually from Northeast. Me, him, right. and the late Andre Chase, man, our first drummer, man. God bless him. God bless his soul. And us three, man, we started that movement. And we just wanted to be like R.E. at the time, man.
Yeah, everybody did, man.
So that's why we called it the Groovers, man, because R.E. was the inner city Groovers, man.
Hey, you know what? Never thought of that.
Yeah.
Man, I would tell you, you're gonna drop some jewels. You're gonna drop a lot of jewels this evening, man.
Yeah, I got to drop the jewels for the youngins coming up, man, and for the people the legends that's been doing it all this time, man. Just to pay homage to all the people that came before me,
right?
All the people that's keeping the movement going now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, you said back in what, 82?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's continue from 82. You say you and your cousin Kyrie.
Uh-huh.
All right, so y'all started a band, and what was the next step, man? Because y'all got a rich history.
The next step was, man, we went over there to see Pleasant and grabbed my cousin Bo Peep, man.
Okay.
And Bo Peep was our real first rapper. He was our first rapper.
Before Kurt?
Yeah, before Kurt. Yeah, Bo Peep was before Kurt.
Okay.
Yeah, he was right over there at Maryland Park, and that's how we ended up meeting Chris. You know what I mean? So,
okay.
so That not Chris Black, yeah, the rapper dude. That's how we met him. We met him over
Okay.
there in Maryland Park. Bo Peep was our rapper. Bo
Mhm.
Peep was with us when we was up Evans Grill, man. We was down
Dang.
out there with Charlie and Roy and them, man. And
Right.
that's when Hot Cold Sweat was doing their thing up Evans Grill, man.
My
And
brother
back
Rick.
in the day, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And your brother, right? You know,
Yeah.
God bless him. And it's like you know, they were a big part of who we became as well, you know, because
Okay.
all the crossing over and all that
Hmm.
I developed, you know,
Hmm.
it was rock steady. You know, before Tommy Guns, the
Hmm.
name Tommy Guns came about, they used to call me Go Go Rockwell.
Oh
You know what
wow.
I'm saying? So Rockwell derived from rock steady.
See why? Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I got Jews to drop on you now. I got all day though.
Shout out to my brother Rocksteady, man. Okay.
Yes, Rock, man. Rock was one of my idols, man. I love Rock, man. Rock was
Right.
after that Capitol Center joint when they was up
Right.
there hitting that, you know what I'm saying?
Wicked. Wicked.
Yeah, all that wiggle your body, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? We begin to rock
Yeah.
steady. You know what I mean? And Rock was just, man, when they was up there with them hats on, you know,
Right.
and go go live, man, they was just up there rocking. So us going to Evans Grill,
Right.
Rock used to hop around. You know, Rock used to put his
Get
hand
that
on the
feeling.
ceiling. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 baka baka doom. You know
And you
how it
still
go.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah, he still do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's original. And you know, I used to mimic that. I used to put my hand on the ceiling. I used
Okay.
to spin around like Rock. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
where
Right.
Rock well came from. You know what I mean? So man, with that being said, man, we were just opening up for a lot of bands and we were just trying to make our name. And then we got, you know, we got connected with Big Butch, you know what I mean?
Okay. Shout
Big
out
Butch
Big Boy.
started, yeah, Big Butch, yeah, he started putting us on the
Two
hotline
three oh.
and
230.
yeah, all that, man. And we started doing Triples nightclub, and that's when Big Butch
So pause
started
right
coming
there.
with the
Okay.
battle of the band.
So was okay. How did was Kurt with y'all at that time?
Kurt was with us at that time, yeah.
Okay. So the first guy you said before Kurt, right?
Bo Peep.
Bo Peep. Okay. What happened with Bo Peep in between? How did that? Did he leave the band and Kurt came?
Well, what happened was Bo Peep was he's our actual cousin. He's our
Okay.
actually family. So
Okay.
what happened was we met Chris and Kurt
Hmm.
around Maryland Park messing with
Okay.
Bo Peep. And you know,
Okay.
Bo Peep was a little older than them, and you know, he was just, you know, he had a street type of life. And
Hmm.
you know, in terms of Northeast, we were kind of we were really serious as young individuals, you know what I mean? And Bo
Hmm.
Peep was kind of still drinking Red Bull and still
Hmm.
jive doing his thing. You know, he wanted to Bo
One
Peep
say
wanted to be
one say
like,
Red Bull, man. Oh Lord, have mercy.
hey, yeah, he wanted to be like Rick and Toddy and them. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
He had that Toddy sound. You know
That
what I
growl.
mean? Yeah, he had
Yeah.
that growl. So Bo Peep kind of filtered off, man, and even Andre, our first drummer, kind of filtered off, and
Okay.
that's when we pulled in Kurt on the microphone, and
Oh, okay.
We pulled in Jam and Jeff at the time.
Quality band.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Jam and Jeff was a prodigy of Poochie. A lot of people don't
Yeah.
understand Poochie was Jeff's idol. Poochie around in Capitol Heights, man, Addison Road, man. Poochie
Right.
used to kick the drums, man.
Yeah.
And when we was up the grill, me and Jeff used to jump on stage. We used to get up on stage and you know, we had straws. We'd take a McDonald's straw and we'd be chewing on the straw. And see, Jeff got all that straw chewing from Poochie. You know what I mean? So breaking foot pedals and all that shit, all that
Right.
strong
Right.
foot. That was Poochie style that Jeff had. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So if you notice, Jeff all about pumping the foot and all about consistency. Jeff don't do a lot of
Hmm.
rudimentally rolls and all that. He
Hmm.
just got a strong foot. So you talking about a 5'8", 5'9" dude with a size 12 shoe.
I never
I
knew
mean,
that.
breaking. I'm talking about breaking foot pedals beat where the foot pedal pole was snapping in half, man. That's how Jeff was doing it. So, man, just to fast forward a little bit, you know, Butch put us in that battle of the bands.
Okay.
So, it was a lot of bands involved, man, and we ended up
So
playing
this was Kirk.
down
This was
triples.
Kirk. Now Kirk's with the band now.
This is Kurt. This is all Kurt.
Okay.
This is all Kurt.
Okay.
At the time, Chris, it was no such thing as rapper dude. Chris was playing the cowbell. He was our utility. He was our all purpose guy. You know what I
Like a
mean?
T-bar.
If because Chris played with quality too. So
Wow.
I met Chris at the Pick Center. Chris was playing congos. That's why people don't understand the thing about Rapper Dude would make him so in tune with the band and so great with it is because Rapper Dude is actually a congo player. So he's embedded and
Yeah.
dedicated to that pocket and that socket, like that congo in his blood. He
Yeah.
can't get out of it. You know
You
what I'm
can tell.
saying?
You can tell. You can
Yeah,
tell.
you can tell. So I met Chris at the Pick Center playing. I seen him up there playing congos with quality. This one when
Wow.
Air Raid, Reds and the boys
That's when
all
I
of
was at
them
Air
used to be
Raid.
up there. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that was
So
Chris playing Congos with. Wow. Now that I
yeah.
think,
Yeah, Chris used to sit in
dang.
with them a lot, man. Chris used to sit in with them a lot, man. And Chris was cranking too. So when Chris met me, Chris saw a whole nother animal, and he just loved it, man. Like Chris really wouldn't really even mess around on my congos. He just loved it, and he just learned from all of us. That's why when we look at it, when the crowd say rapper dude and all these things, when we look at it as Chris. That's Chris that we raised him, man. He come from Northeast. We raised him. We raised the boy his whole life, man. So his greatness right now, every time I look at him, it brings chills to me because that's my man. You know what I mean? I can dig the rapper dude thing. I can dig
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's Chris Black to me. You know what I'm saying? And that's Chris Black that did any and everything for Northeast
And
that
he's
it took.
and he's humble. He's humble.
Yeah, he
He's
got to be
humble with it.
humble, man. He got to
Yeah.
be humble with it, man, because he knows that, and people don't understand this about Chris. Chris is two different people from off the stage to on the stage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Two different people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think, it's a misconception of who he really is, man. But I
Right.
know him. I know his heart, and every time I look at him, I just see, I see so much growth because he learned so much from BU. He learned so much from Bugs. You know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean? Like Bugs was our sound man when we was young, man, playing with
What?
the ultimate grooves in them. Yeah, down the Safari Club, man. I got a lot to tell you today, B. I got a lot to tell you, man. And
You with the
Kurt
sound man.
BU was running our sound down the Safari Club, man.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Okay.
BU was run. He was our sound technician, man. We used to open up for Ultimate Groove for Junk, and we was young, man. And BU used to have our sound in there thumping, man. So Kurt always wanted to be like Bugs. You know what I'm saying? And Kurt would stand on bricks, take his shirt off. He's
Yeah. I
even
remember.
got to the point where he was on top of the speakers.
I remember.
You
I
know what I'm
remember all
saying?
that. I remember all
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. So, and Chris followed Kurt, and then next thing you know, he became his own person, man. So when people think that, you know, Chris is the rapper dude and he's just this, that, and the other, you can best believe Chris paid much homage and much respect to that BU, to that Bugs, man. If ain't nobody say it, I'ma tell him.
Yeah.
He knows where the craft came from, and he respected. You know what I mean? He respected cold heartedly, man. Cause BU, that, for me, that's my funk right there. Even
Yeah.
though I came up knowing funk was that dog,
Mm-hmm.
BU was my funk. You know what I mean? To me, that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because I just know how everything surfaced. So Northeast wanted to be. I feel like Northeast wanted to be a. They wanted to groove like RE. They wanted the transitions of RE,
Mm-hmm.
but we had the crank of junk. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So we was a mixture of our formula ain't nothing but RE and junk. That's
Right.
what people don't understand. You know what I'm saying? When we got out Maryland and
That's
that's
why.
when all the other
That's,
stuff came about.
that's why a rapper always say you put bugs and funk in a bowl and mix it up. You got rapping.
What rapper did you look at like, man, wanted to be like, man?
Bugs and Funk. Bugs and Jazz Funk. Them the two, my two favorites. Bugs and Jazz Funk. Put that in the pot. Came out with rap. Came up with rah-rah.
That's why he feel like that, because
Yeah.
I was cold-hearted junk, and my band couldn't stand the fact that I love me some JY. Like I had
Yeah.
cases of JY tapes and everything. I
Right.
mean cassette tapes back when they was down the River Fest. Don't make me take you back today, Heartbeat. I'm telling niggas don't even know about the River Fest, first of
That's,
all.
hey, that's why we here, man. Let's talk.
Exactly. Back when JY was down the River Fest, man. You know what I mean? So always, man, always loved junk. And my band just used to be like, man, fuck you always listen to junk. I'm like, cause Winko, my idol, man. I love Winko, man. I said, and that's where
I jumped him off the porch.
exactly. You know what I mean? So even people like you, that's why when the beginning of the show, I'm like, friggity Heartbeat, because they
Yeah.
don't even understand how you used to do it as a big mechanical dude. Like when you went overseas, like man, they don't even know the history of Heartbeat. They think Heartbeat just out here on some Heartbeat hour, man. Heartbeat is friggity Heartbeat for me, y'all. Y'all know shit about Heartbeat. No bullshit. And I'm gonna keep it right there. I ain't gonna
We ain't
start
got.
cussing.
It's about you, right? It's about you right now.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, for real. But
and before we continue, which we are going to continue, I got to plug this in too. We're going to talk about this later on, man. A lot of people don't know that you're part of the Chuck Brown fraternity too. We're going to talk about that
exactly.
later on. But let's continue
Okay.
on this right now.
Okay. Yeah, so after the whole Big Bush thing, we won the actual contest. We won the battle of the bands back then.
I
And
vaguely remember that battle. It was like 20 bands or something like that.
there was 20 bands and we won that battle.
Yeah.
And the consolation, the prize was whoever win get to open up for RE.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
big.
and we opened up for RE. I'll never forget it. We came out with the After Seven song, and then we came out with Loose Booty. You know what I mean? And when we came out, it wasn't that many people in there. And back then, as a young band, and bands don't have to experience this now, but back then, sound men for bigger bands would start pulling your plugs and have
Yeah.
you sounding real janky. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Really? Yeah.
Just so happened, Googie, my man, we went on tour with Chuck together. We'll talk about that later.
And shout out to
Good,
Big Boo.
yeah, Googie didn't pull the plug that night. So the
Okay.
people that was in there for RE that got there early got to hear Northeast on some real power. Some
Wow.
real power.
Now
Yeah.
that's big.
Yeah, that was huge because Googie had
Yeah.
us, man, he had us. And back when we was, bleeding on the Congos,
Get some blood.
pissing blood, the whole
All that.
nine. Googie had me in there like Mickey, and I just could not believe it. I was just like, oh, for real? This how this sound? Like
Yeah.
he had the Brock on there. He had, man, the monitors. Kojak was on the boards. Ain't nobody pull out plugs. I was like, Joe, I can't believe we sounded like this. And that piece of that crowd that was in there that night when we opened up for RE, that might have been the biggest mistake RE made to let us open up for them, because we took a piece of that crowd
Right.
and we built off of that crowd. You know what I mean? We built off of that crowd, and Northeast was on the way from there. Now I'm gonna tell you one little part about it that shifted, and this came from when we started going up triples, off
Okay.
of Branch Avenue. We started rocking up triples.
I remember
That's when,
when you first
yeah,
heard
that's
of you.
when, exactly. That's
Yeah.
that's when Scarface was coming up there, Ice
Yeah.
Cube and them was coming up there
Yeah.
rocking with
Yeah.
Jump,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So we up there rocking. At the time, my man Heartbeat, his name Heartbeat too.
Shelton.
Yeah, Shelton.
You know where
Yeah,
he got
my
the
man.
name from, right?
Exactly.
You know where he got that name from, right?
He got that name from you?
Of course. He's my biggest
Of course.
fan.
Exactly.
Hey.
So Shelton, man, Beat, we used to call him Beat. God bless
Yeah.
Beat, man. We
God
love
bless
Beat.
you. Yeah.
And
Exactly.
Beat and Juju and a dude named Leb. You know Leb, Black Leb, play the keyboard.
Of course.
Juju, Heartbeat, and Leb. They had the studio out Ardmore Ardwick Road.
Sure did.
All right. This was back in 1989, 90.
I used to be down there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's when EU came back from
Mm-hmm.
all across the water, doing the butt, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Leb and them had the studio.
Yeah.
We was in there recording our album, our first tape.
Yeah.
If anybody know, it ain't straight from the basement. It's called Cranking Hard.
Cranking Hard. I remember that.
Northeast Group is Cranking Hard. It's a green label.
Yeah.
We did tributes to Nelson Mandela. We was always on this page to make records.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is the page that I'm on right now with iNation.
Let's go.
Finishing the story. And we'll talk about that later too. But I want to say this. Heartbeat, Juju, Leb, they taught us so much. You know what I'm saying? And they called us, they wanted to go mainstream. So that's when we got connected with our man, Jerry Vines, Love to Death, Cliff, all of them.
Yeah.
They wanted us under their wing. This when Lil Kurt was with us. They started calling us Any Boys, right?
Okay.
So the Any Boys, it went from Northeast Groovers to Any Boys. So we started talking to labels. Labels wanted half of us. They didn't want certain people. So the band got a little divided. We started doing videos down in Union Station and Georgetown. We was doing videos. Free South Africa, we was doing that for Nelson Mandela. And we really felt like we getting ready to go somewhere, because Huggy was a beautiful voice. You know what I mean? And still has a beautiful voice. But Huggy, I mean, when he was doing them After 7 songs back in the day, man, he sounded like a female. You know what I'm saying?
Little Mike and Bucky touched on that.
Yeah, they touched on that, exactly. You know, Baloo Choir. I got Huggy from down Safari Club. You know what I mean? I used to know his cousin Sabrina. Man, my cousins sang. They lived on Independence Avenue, right around the corner from Easton. I pulls Hug in. Next thing you know, we play around Bright Sea Road, Glen Arden. 32 wasn't even playing with Junk. I don't know if he was suspended at the time or what. We like, me and Hug like, Deuce, let's go. He wasn't even Deuce back then. He was Go-Go Dave back then.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you the history of everything. That was Go-Go Dave. It wasn't no 32 and it wasn't no Deuce. That was Go-Go Dave. Me and Go-Go Dave was hanging together on a daily because I was trying to get in with Northeast. Wow. I don't know what happened with him and Junk, but you know, Mo Short and them was running a tight ship over there at the time, and we had a chance to steal him. Don't you know I gave him all my whole collection of my junkyard cassettes.
Wow.
Just so he can get back shop on $55 motel, all that shit he used to crank, right?
Yeah.
He know I'm still fucked up with him to this day, and I can't wait till he see this right here, because he know he stole all my junk cassettes. But I'm gonna let that ride. You know you did, 32. You stole my junk cassettes. You act like you couldn't find them.
Right.
They was over Trisha house. Then they was over this person house. You know, and Chuck had them for a minute.
Wow.
Brother, you know, all that. But that's my man. It's cool. But we pulled him in, and that's when that N.E.G joint started clicking.
Right.
And I wanted the worldwide thing. And I fast forwarded to the part where I actually was ready to leave Northeast. And that's when me and Kurt left, because N.E.G, we thought it was going to be a mainstream thing.
Right.
And we wanted to go national.
Okay.
That was our thing. I was one of the oldest people in the band, me and Joe Dye. So it was time for, this was around when I was 19 years old.
Okay.
So it was time for me to start hitting the streets, time for me to be a man at this time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, look, we like, man, we ain't trying to go back up Evans Grill. We ain't trying to go to the go-go.
Sounds
like,
familiar.
We trying to take the go-go worldwide.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is the dream that beat, Heartbeat, Leb, Juju. This is the dream that they put in our head. Of course, at the time, all we hearing is doing the butt on the radio. So we're thinking national is very possible. You feel me?
Yeah.
At that time, I don't know if the record execs, if they wanted part of us, didn't want part of us. I know they wanted Hug because he was writing songs. And you know, I think Dig Dug and Chris and a rack of them, they wanted to put them on the side because they felt like cowbells, timbales, I could do all that. And we actually shot a video, man. Fast forward, it didn't happen for us. Me and Kurt end up leaving the band. We end up leaving. My Aunt Pearl was real upset with me at the time. Miss Pratt, she was real upset. I moved out the house over Northeast. I got my own little apartment around the corner from Pratt, right there at Oakcrest Towers. Got up out of there, man, and you know, I was on some street shit from that point. Didn't even look back at the Congos at all. Put them in the closet, and I wasn't even interested no more. Because my heart was broken at that point. Kurt went on to fuck with Jerry Vines, Cliff, Genuine. They started producing. Genuine came out years after that. Probably 7, 8 years after that. But this Northeast thing, man, it goes so far. And I know I'm probably leaving some things out, but man, it's truly a blessing for all of us to still be here, because I know when R.E. lost Foots, I know it was a big deal.
Yeah, man.
And nothing beats an original. When Junk lost Heavy One, it crushed us. Everybody was crushed.
Yeah.
Because I just remember me and Heavy being up the Metro Club, and I used to be like, One, why you sitting there watching Foots like this? And he used to say, I'm telling you, Tom, this nigga like a track, man. This nigga don't move, man. This nigga like a track. And I just remember Heavy One just saying that shit to me, and it always stuck with me. So he made me start looking at Foots a different way.
Yeah.
And I just used to look at Foots because I was loving Juju and Sugarfoot and them. You know what I mean? I was loving the rudiments, but I like the consistency and the Foot a Heavy One in them.
And that's what Chuck Brown like.
Jeff,
you know that.
Me and Jeff, when we got together, I kind of molded him on just holding that socket. Like, we don't need a lot of rope, need the fancy shit. Just hold me down.
Right.
And Foots just was Foots just was like a track, like Heavy One used to say, man, all the time. And every time I went up to Metro Club, me and my brother go up there, Stingadink, he jump on the mic, and I'm just back there looking at
A lot of people don't know that's your brother.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. So me and Dink go up there and he get on the mic, you know what I'm saying? God bless Fat Rodney. I can tell you about that whole Stinking Ink John, how that transpired up Crystal Skate, but we might not have enough time. But yeah, man, Foots just was a track and he inspired us, man, as Northeast, man. So if anybody get it twisted, don't never think that the rapper dude and Northeast Groovers don't respect that motherfucking junkyard. All right? Please don't get that twisted. Don't think we don't respect BU. We love BU. Don't get that twisted. That's our brother. You know what I'm saying? Winko, all of them. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for Jump, we wouldn't have been that inspired to crank like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So if it's like, you know, I can tell you when I remember when Backyard started surfacing. You know what I mean? And it's just so much history in this go-go family, man. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now with iNation, man.
That's right.
You know?
That's a segue to that, man. Let's speak on that, man. Talk
Yeah.
about this journey out to LA and
man, I came out LA, man. I came out LA in 2017. My Uncle Henry, you know, like a father to me. This is Miss Pratt's husband.
Oh,
Henry
man.
Pratt. He passed away in 2017. And he passed away with, you know, stage 4 cancer. And, you know, when I used to be over his house, he over there playing the guitar. At this point, he like 110 pounds.
Yeah.
And he like, big brother, you got to get back on that stage. And I'm like, I'm going to get back on that stage, man. And after he passed away, man, I just felt like I ain't trying to die right here without this legacy being moved the right way. So I told my wife, I said, because I was coming out here to see Carlton anyway, my brother. So I was like, man, we need to move out there. So she was like, you tripping. I'm a real estate agent. I got 3 licenses right here. I said, yeah, well, we got to get licensed out there, baby, because we got to get out there. At the time, I was a real estate appraiser and I was a solar agent.
Wow.
I did a solar deal out in California that paid me about 3 times more than I got paid on the East Coast. So a solar deal on the East Coast, depending on the size of the system or the size of the roof of the house, probably would have paid me about $3,000 for a deal on the East Coast. I did a deal on the West Coast. The motherfucker paid me $10,000. I told my wife, I said, we gotta get the fuck out of here. She like, you will never leave the city. You love the city. I was like, shit, we gotta go. So next thing you know, I started moving the house.
Wow.
She ain't believe me. I started moving everything in the house. Now I had a studio in the basement, everything. We started moving the house. She said, when we moving? She ain't believe it. I said, well, we gonna move on the day that my father died on, which was August 24th.
Oh, man.
And I said, we gonna close this chapter. I said, Henry passed away in December. We out of here by August. I said, I ain't dying right here with these niggas. I said, we gonna try something different. That's how we got to LA. We got to San Diego. I live in San Diego.
Okay.
So when I came to San Diego, I put a studio together. Of course, I was doing solar. We was doing real estate, everything. And I put the studio downtown. I got a studio downtown Gaslamp District right across the street from the House of Blues, the original House of Blues. My studio is directly across the street.
Wow.
So came out here. I had a vision of, you know what? Let me go ahead and try something different. So I started recording in the studio. You know, it's a lot of Latinos out here.
Of course.
I said, okay, Latin percussion, go-go, I said, I'm about to start putting these Latin chicks on this crank, and I'm about to make something new up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So the Latin artists I had, they was hot down in Tijuana. So I was like, okay. I started sending them tracks like, man, right to this. We're gonna take the go-go down Tijuana. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Let's go down there with it. And y'all start rapping and singing on this shit and see how they
Right.
grab it there. And we're gonna do it like that. Fast forward, while I'm doing that, this was after 3-4 years I've been here. I'm reaching out to Malachi. I got the wrong number for some
Gotta talk
reason.
to
I
Miley
hear about
Jones, man.
Malachi Jones, yeah. I hear about him having the Live Nation, the whole thing. I seen the little write up where he was looking for, originality and other stuff. So I was like, damn, I said, Rez and Jai plugged in, man. But I couldn't get in touch with him. So I said, I'll eventually get in touch with him. I rode to LA one day with my brother, with Carlton, to pick up one of his best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And his best friend's sister took a picture of us.
Wow.
She said, you know Lorenzo? I said, Lorenzo? I said, tall, play the keyboard. I said, yeah, we used to play in the Fam with Pratt. I
Yeah.
said, we used to play in Subtle Thoughts with Walker Reds and them.
Right.
Out the 94th Earl Squadron.
Right.
I said, I think I know you talking about. She showed me a picture of him. I said, yeah, I know you talking about. She took a picture. Now, mind you, I'm old school. I'm an OG. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on some street shit. So I'm on some fuck the internet shit for so long. So this is all new to me. Interviews, IG, is all new to me, right?
Right.
And I'm late with it. But I'm like, she take a picture, she put it on IG. Next thing you know, Lorenzo calling me, Malachi calling me,
Right.
Reggie calling me, right?
Okay.
Drummer named Reggie out here, right? I ain't know him. They say he
That's the
played for
paper.
Baby. They say he played for Babyface, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, okay. They called me and said, you know Cy Smith. I said, no, I don't know Cy Smith. They said Cy
Right.
Smith tried to do some go-go out here years ago. Cy
Okay.
Smith is a beautiful young lady that's touring everywhere right now, And me
Yeah.
and her keep in touch. I said, I
Okay.
don't know nothing about her, but I did my research.
Okay.
Man, they said, you want to do a band? Did you got Congos? I said, come on, man. I said, I ain't one of them new niggas that be renting Congos. I said, I got Congos everywhere. I
Right.
said, when I moved from DC, I threw 3 sets of Congos away, took them right over Bellhaven and put them by the trash can and was telling
What?
the youngins, come on and get these. They got stands and everything. 3 whole sets. I said, but I bought a set with me. I said, I got Congos, Timbales, Thunder Toms, Octopads, Rolling shit, SPX shit. What
Right.
y'all need?
Right.
They like, man, we want to do a band. I said, let's do it. So
Okay.
I go to LA, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, mind you, I live 2.5 hours away, right? I go to LA. We put the band together. I meet with my man. We start this West Side Go-Go thing.
Okay.
He's working with Malachi. The band
Okay.
was called DCAF. I
Okay.
said, man, that's a nice jump, man. We had a nice young singer, Sharice Reese. She sang.
Yeah, that's
We
my
had
girl.
a young cat. You know her?
Yeah, you been on Conga Hour like 2%.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
what's up. So
She
Sharice
booed up.
Reese,
She did a song called "Booed Up," the remake.
booed up. Exactly. That's my dog. So she in there, young cat named Mackenzie. He
Okay.
in there singing. I'm like, oh man, they got a nice little crew. They had Lorenzo. They had
Okay.
a dude named, they call him Henny Hendrix. He done Henny done played with Adele. He done played with everybody. He a bad youngin', right?
Okay.
I'm like, wow, man. Keith Edie on the bass. I said, they got a little crew out here. So we play a show, man. We pack it out. And I'm like, okay, we on to something. Next thing you know, fast forward, I think Reggie had a show with Babyface came up, and we had to miss a date.
Okay.
I took that personal, and I said, it's time for me to bring iNation. Now, I'm talking to Malachi. He like, yeah, you think you like we need to do 2 bands out here? I said, yeah. I said, we got to build this market up. I said, yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
He was like, okay, cool. He was like, cool. So I said, Malachi, this ain't just come about. I said, iNation, I could show you a logo from 1995 that Kyrie drew up for me that said, it said Instrument Nation.
Okay.
The I stand for instrument
Okay.
because in actuality, as a drummer, everything is an instrument to me.
That's it.
My kids always say, Dad, you always beating. We as individuals, whether we play instruments or whether we just love music, we're musicians by nature.
Mm-hmm.
So we're a nation of instruments. So I said, I'm going to call it Instrument Nation.
Okay.
Of course, the word Instrument Nation is super long. So I said, for marketing purposes, I'm going to dumb it down and I'm going to call it iNation.
There you go.
iNation Live. So that's how iNation came about. And, I was still rocking with Reggie's band with DCAF, but, he would have to go on the road and mess with Babyface. So I didn't leave them hanging. I was playing with both. And mind you, I live in San Diego. So I'm taking 2.5-hour rides just to practice.
That's dedication right there.
That's dedication. So I'm teaching all the young cats out there. First of all, stop renting fucking Congos and get your own Congos.
Exactly.
That's what you do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because all my Congos is custom. I paint them. I soak heads. You young niggas don't know nothing about soaking no heads or nothing.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know about Goombox or nothing. All y'all know is Junior Congos and
they don't know the actual word, Requinta Recunta.
Exactly. And that's something you taught me a long time ago. So the thing about it is, man, get your own Congos, man. You know what I mean? You see the clips on YouTube, everybody playing the same Congos. Man, get your own Congos. I'm out here in LA. I just got a new set of Congos back when I was sick with cancer, and I still was in Guitar Center trying to get me a new set, and I ain't even need a new set. I just wanted a new set. You know what I'm saying? So get your own Congos out here, young Congo players, because this go-go joint, I'm gonna tell you something good about this go-go. It's the next wave.
Yeah,
we coming.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, we coming. They need us, and we on them. We on them because, like Kari and I say all the time, my brother, love him to death. And this is a term in go-go that you all gotta understand. R&B, any genre of music, we can mix in go-go. That's what go-go is. So we can do what they do, but they can't do what we do.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Rick used to always say that.
Yeah. Rick, no. You know what I'm saying? They can't do what we do. It's that space and it's that air that we feel.
It's that feel.
They just don't. It's a TikTok. It's like a TikTok.
Yeah.
Where I drop, you pick up. Where you pick up, I drop. You know what I mean? And it goes throughout the whole band. You know what I'm saying? So it's a special movement, man, and they loving it out here in LA, man. They loving it. So last year, we did it in 2023.
Okay.
iNation's first show was in Juneteenth. They got a big Juneteenth weekend out here. And it was right after Angela Bassett had got on the stage with us with DCAF.
That was all over the internet.
Exactly. That was Sharice and Angela Bassett freaking with it, right? All over, went viral, right?
Yeah.
Shortly after that, iNation surfaced. We get the rolling. You know what I mean? We done had people in the house. You know what I mean? So 2023 was a good year because iNation got a chance to see the Warren G's, see the Deborah Cox's pop up in there. Anybody can pop in this go-go out here. You just never
Right.
know who. Raheem Devon, they
Right.
popping through. So last December, this poster right here, December 17th,
Okay.
this is when Vibe and Sirius came in town.
Right.
They was in town for the Washington Rams joint.
Right.
So they was at the Westin Bonaventure Hotel. I
Okay.
know it clearly because I just stayed there the other night when we had our show, right?
Okay.
They came in, it was a sneaker ball. And we were, me and my wife went down there. And that particular night, I was shaving my beard off. That was the particular night where I had a lump on my neck. And my wife, like, I'm like, what's that on? You see that? She like, yeah, it's a lump on your neck. What is that? I'm like, I don't know, right? So fast forward, after that night, it was a great night. The sound system was nice, vibe was cranking. You know, man, my man Nick was out here on the Congos. Me and him was kicking it.
Wow.
Me and Scooby kicking it. I actually put Sharice with them that night because Scooby called me and said, man, you know, Miss Kim can't make it. And this is the brotherhood I'm talking about. I don't want people to think I'm just rapping for no reason.
Right.
I'm just trying to let everybody know that it's a brotherhood with this right here. And it goes so far. Scooby called me and said, man, Miss Kim can't make the trip. I said, for real? He said, you got anybody out there that can get with me, a singer? I said, I got a young lady named Sharice Reese, right? I said, she got you. I called Sharice up. She was like, yeah, Tommy, I'm cool.
Right.
She got on stage with Scooby and them and rock like they've been rocking together for years.
Yeah.
Right? So the next day, we had this show right here, December 17th. We had a day party. So right after everybody came from the game, we played at this joint called the Federal up in North Hollywood.
Okay.
Very nice joint. Dirk, Scooby got up there with us. They rocked. Scooby played the guitar. Who comes out the crowd? Raphael Sadiq. He jumped up on stage with us.
Right.
With the rock and the bass.
My man, right.
Shawnee baby jump on the drum. She jump on the Congo. She all purpose. She all over the stage.
Right.
It was just a great night for go-go. With Dirk and Scooby and them, you'll see Raphael back there playing the bass. My man Marcus jumped on the keyboard. He played with
Marcus?
yeah,
Yeah.
He jumped on, and it was just a great night for go-go, man. It was really nice, man. It was people had their camera phones out, man. Raphael was up there rocking the bass. When I get you home tonight. And Scooby was on the guitar singing. Dirk was singing. It was beautiful, man. That was a beautiful movement up there, man. So at the end of the day, man, we everywhere and we got to keep this movement going. I want to fast forward to 2024 when I started getting CT scans, MRIs,
right?
Got the biopsy. They told me the lump in my neck was cancer. Right? March 6th, I'm getting ready to go in the studio. I'm downtown. I'm getting ready to go in the studio. This was right after Malachi had the show at the Peppermint Club. And he had Crank Caviar out here.
Okay.
You know, it had Stomp Dog, had Keyboard Chris, had Woo on the Congos. I got on the stage with him. I was up there on some Timbali, up there faking, because I ain't no Timbali dude, but I was up there faking. I did jump on the Congos for a little while, and Cy Smith was singing, and we had T.O.B. Chris up there also.
Yeah, okay, I remember that. Okay.
That was another epic, great night for go-go. We was right there in West Hollywood, man. It was a beautiful event, man. And shortly after that, that's when the whole cancer thing came about. And man, I was going to the studio one day, beat, and the shock of my life. News that I ain't never think I'd hear, because I feel like I stopped smoking back in 2017 when I buried my Uncle Henry. You know what I mean? So hadn't really did no smoking, never was a cigarette smoker, but never did nothing else in terms of smoke, man, and was calming down on the drink. So what happened was they diagnosed me. They say, yeah, you know, your results came back. They told me it was cancer. I was hopping out the car to go in the studio. I hopped right back in the car and went home. Went home. My wife and her father, we prayed. They met me at the front door. Big tears, big everything. Of course, you hear cancer, you think you about to die for sure.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Man, rough road in 2024, man. Luckily, it was stage 1. I was P16 positive, and that determines the stage.
Look at God.
And it could have been stage 3 or stage 4 already if I had waited and bullshitted around like we do from time to time in our life. But being as though I had a good woman, Jai made me get right to that doctor, and I caught it stage 1. I got radiated, chemo every single day for 8 straight weeks.
Praise God, man.
Yeah, had a feeding tube in my stomach, couldn't eat, couldn't even drink water. Like rough. I went from 185 pounds to 146 pounds, and I was down, looking like a crackhead. I was down. But guess what? I ain't never stopped looking at that go-go on my phone. You feel me?
I know that's right, man.
Never. I never stopped looking at that motherfucking crank. Never. I was sitting here in this bed all the way fucked up. I'm talking about sick off the chemo, stomach acid, man, feeding myself with a feeding tube, sitting right here at this desk. I put this post up right here, and this was my motivation. And I said to myself, I said, I started that iNation shit, I'm gonna finish that shit.
Come on.
Cause when I was down, all the way down, you almost ready to say fuck everything. You know what I mean? When you can't swallow and it burn if you try to drink water. But I was all the way down, and man, God brought me back, man. He just brought me back up.
Praise God, man.
Yeah, praise God, man, because I know a couple of people that was in that chemo room and in that radiation room with the same thing I had, that it turned for the worse, and they ended up passing away.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, so my vocal cords didn't get burned out. It was a touchy situation, and a lot of people don't even know the half of the shit I went through. You know what I'm saying? And I just rebuilt, man. Still was running the business with Westside Go-Go. We had the Future Band out here on Halloween. Thanks to Jules and my man that run the band. They brought the band out here. They played under Westside Go-Go.
Yeah.
My band didn't get to go. You know, they was waiting on me. No go-go's happened really outside of that one when I was down. And then around November, man, I did Hawaii with the family, started putting a little weight on, and here we go in 2024, iNation back, and
Look at God. Look at God.
And we ready.
Look at God.
Yeah. And I ain't mean to take that long to give you that roundabout, but
you know what though? People need to hear this.
Yeah, because it's a lot of youngins that's out there, and they smoking and they drinking their life away. Even a couple of my older kids, you know,
Right.
28 and 27 years old, and you don't think it could happen to you, but I'm gonna tell y'all youngins out there, it can happen to you. And I was a vegetarian from 1987 out of high school all the way till my father died 2003. And I don't feel like I'm a person that done abused my body, but I'm gonna tell you some good shit. It can happen to you. You know what I mean? The black and miles, which my man E over Southeast called them the black and files, because them Jones foul. I was in the studio, me and Maestro, me and my man Earthquake, we was in the studio mixing rappers to 2, 3 in the morning over Capitol Heights. Yeah, smoking blacks, drinking. You know what I mean? In our zone. Y'all niggas ain't gotta get high. Y'all ain't gotta drink to go in the studio. If you got that vibe, you go in the studio and you knock it out.
The natural.
I'm telling y'all youngins, man. I'm telling you, I'm a living testimony. And before I forget, I got a book coming out that's about my experience with cancer.
Good God Almighty.
Yeah, and it's called The Rhythm of P16 and the Lump. And the lump become the thump. Cause I'm gonna tell you some good shit. The lump that turned me right back to the thump. And we're gonna get that crank back on. So it's coming out, man. And hopefully we'll finish it. I'm a type A type of nigga, and I'm really detailed, and I want to get a youngins play by play.
Right.
On 3 in the morning when your people's laying beside you and your kids in here and you in the bathroom spitting up your motherfucking guts. You know what I'm saying? And chemo trying to take you out because it's killing your cells. Y'all niggas better leave that drink and that smoke alone. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Don't bullshit yourself, because it's gonna catch you. It's gonna catch you. It caught me. It's gonna catch you. For real. You got a chance to make it right now. And I'm telling you, man, it was a lot of long nights, but all I could think about was, I can't wait till I can drink me some water again, get my weight back up there, and smack these motherfucking Congos. And that's the God's honest truth. And that's no boy, exactly. And smack these Congos. And look, I ain't even gonna tell them about this right here, because this is a secret. I'm gonna let y'all know when y'all start hearing them tracks from iNation. You know, that's a tabla drum right there too, right?
Man, that's my joint.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring the tabla on the go-go tracks too. I ain't gonna tell y'all too much.
They don't know about that, Tom.
Hey, thank Juju House when y'all start hearing this shit on go-go songs and shit. Cause
Right.
Juju House told me, you gotta get with them Indians and get with that tabla. I got 2 whole sets of tablas right here.
Hey, bro, let me tell you something, man.
Hey, B, I'm dedicated, B.
Man, look, I can't wait to just to hug your neck, man. Really.
I appreciate that.
Really, man. And man, this has been one of the if not the best interviews I've ever done, bro. Because you know, you poured your heart out, man, and you dropped so many jewels on us, number one. Number two, but at the same time, you educated a lot of people, these youngins, on a whole lot of the things that they really need to hear.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I mean, you told me things I didn't even know. I thought I knew it all.
Right.
And yeah, man, a lot of people have been asking, like, especially the CPU brothers, they don't know you out in LA.
Okay.
And you are, you know, I can't wait to induct you. Really.
Uh-huh.
You know, I mean, you're in there, but you know, it's a certain, you know, a certain procedure we go through as far as welcoming people, you know, Conga Players United, man. You're a big part of that, man. And you're on the West Coast, so
yeah, I appreciate that.
And man, wow, man, I was tired today, man. You know what though? I said, man, I gotta talk to little bro, man.
Yeah. Because it's so much history, man.
I'm so happy, man, that you made my whole week, bro.
I appreciate that, man. It's a lot of history, beat, man. It's a lot of history with
we ain't even done. You seen the 3-part series we did on Little Mike?
Yeah. Like I gotta take y'all all the way to I gotta take y'all back down the basement when the water beat started, when I gave Smoke the formula, how we created his whole style off the TikTok. Like, it's so much we got to talk about. That I ain't even get to tell y'all about that, man. How I left him, how I met the young cat down in Lennon Town, and I just gravitated to him. And when I was leaving Northeast, when they asked me who I wanted to take my place, and I said, man, it was a young cat down Lennon Town. I said he was real fast, but I see it in him, and I think we need to grab him. And to be honest, I got a big up to Funk and Mickey for starting that Top Congo shit. Like, everybody's style is revolved around that Top Congo right now. You know,
Yeah,
back in the day,
that's the style I bought the Chuck.
yeah, exactly. That's the style that you bought the Chuck, and that's the style that Chucky Thompson, God bless him, got from you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because Chucky Thompson was right there. You know,
Yeah.
he was right there on the Congos. Don't even understand that. Yeah, he got into producing, but Chucky Thompson was the Congo player.
Yeah.
You know, so my thing is, when I left Smoke, you know, back in the day, we was on some 2-3 type of shit. You know what I mean? Like boom, tak, kaboom, boom, kaboom, boom, tak, kaboom, boom.
And you know what? You know what, little bro? You know what? And I love you said that. I love that you said that because I bought CPU on Channel 9 one time, right? And I loaned my Congos to one of my partners, but he loaned the Congos out to I ain't gonna say the name, but anyway, they popped the high Congo.
Okay.
And it was me, Smoke, Winko, Sauce, and Congo Danny. And I bought CPU to Channel 9. We talking about, you know, the nonprofit and all that, but sometime to go on air, we ain't had no high Congo.
Right.
So I told everybody, hey, old school tonight, today, you know, everybody looking, you know, and everybody made it work. But that showed me a lot about all them. I knew Winko could do it, you know, old school. I knew Sauce can do it, right?
Right.
But Smoke, I never seen Smoke just play on 3 Congos.
Right.
You know, but he improvised. And that right there showed all the youngers. Everybody was tuned in. Like, damn, they did that. They pulled that off with 3 Congos.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? And
because that's how we went.
You don't need this all night. You know, you don't need it.
No.
You know, we ain't really ain't need that. We like this all night, just on the 3.
On the 3, exactly. And when I put him in the mix, and he'll tell you, because after the Congo battle,
right,
you know, which, you know, I gave big props to Pooh. You know what I mean?
I told Pooh when we took that intermission, right? You know, I said we taking the intermission. Woo, 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 woo. But I told Pooh, I said, just kill. I don't know what happened. Pooh went outside, came back in. Everything changed.
Yeah.
Because for that first half, woo, he started doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when Mickey ran across the room looking at him like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
Start hitting that whistle joint.
Yeah.
You know, with the fingertips.
Yeah. Rudiment shit.
Yeah, Giovanni jump. And like,
exactly. And when I saw him, I was like, I like Shorty. So when we came up Go-Go Radio, I got a chance to meet him. I still got the picture with me, him, and Smoke together.
Right.
We were on the radio with y'all, and he was like, yeah, this the person that taught Smoke how to play the Congos, and Smoke was even telling Pooh that, and I was like, let me correct y'all. I didn't teach Smoke how to play the Congos.
Right.
Smoke knew how to play the Congos when I met him.
What you did.
I gave Smoke the formula.
There you go.
To implement and have an actual style, young fellas.
You taught
know
him.
What I'm saying? So when you hear Smoke on some saddle 'em up, all that, that shit. Give me the shotgun, double barrel shotgun. That shit I created when I was 14, 15 years old, and I still live on.
I already know.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, with Heartbeat saying we popped the top Congo when we worked at 3,
Yeah.
man, you got to be able to work out on everything, and you have to be able to create a story. So when I left that formula to Smoke, I said you got to create the story. It has to be a story. So when we were in the basement, when I left Northeast Grooves, I worked out with Smoke for like a month.
Right.
After that.
Right.
And I told him, I said, Mickey and I'm going to this top Congo. I'm a low Congo nigga because Winko was my idol.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I like low Congo shit. I said, if
I
you
love
take
it. You remember Jungle Boogie had them 3 big LPs?
Jungle Boogie had the 3 big LPs, yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, Jungle Boogie had them Jones. I remember at one time he had the 4 Jones that had the double bands around the Jones.
Yeah.
And then Foxy Brown came with the Goon Box with the lambskin.
Yeah.
These young niggas don't even know the difference between lambskin and pig skin.
Talk to them.
You had to soak the lambskin.
Talk to them.
You know what I'm saying? And form it to the Congo, man.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta get into y'all craft, man, because we gotta bring this shit to the world.
They don't know about molding, man. Man, look here, man. This has been one of the most legendary interviews that I've ever done in my whole illustrious career, man. Tommy Gunn, man, we'd like to thank you and commend you, man, on all the knowledge and the jewels. You done dropped some jewels this evening, man, and I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. CPU, we appreciate you. The whole industry appreciates you, man. You out LA representing the genre in a real big, magnificent way, man. So kudos to you, man. Kudos to you,
Yes,
man.
sir.
And just let everybody know where they can get in touch with you at, man. Give them your IG and some further information on some upcoming events going on with your situation up there at iNation Live.
And iNation Live on Instagram, and man, stay tuned for a lot of big things.
Okay.
May 3rd, we at the Legos out here in LA.
Okay.
June the 28th, we at the Sofitel Hotel. We got something special coming out, man.
Okay.
Y'all stay tuned for that one. We may even pull one of our legendary homies like Rio out here and let us get a live recording for y'all straight from LA. Maybe the first time we do a straight from LA live recording on the go-go. You know what I mean? So iNation coming, man. A lot of events coming up. We got Juneteenth, June 15th, Juneteenth event. Last year we did it with Anderson .Paak. I don't know who we gonna open up for this year. And I think July 26th we on a yacht for Westside Go-Go's promoter, owner, CEO Martin's 50th birthday. So stay tuned for that, man. Westside Go-Go on IG. Follow us. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna keep the movement going. I ain't going nowhere because I'm cancer free, and I'm gonna push this shit down your throat until it ain't no more. You know what I mean? For real.
Along with the Heartbeat Conga Hour Urban Smart Network, it's a conglomerate now. We all intertwined in one. You know what I'm saying? It's a West Coast thing now too. So look here, man. Once again, man. Tommy Gunn, Heartbeat, the Heartbeat Conga Hour Urban Smart Network. That's how we do, man. Each and every Wednesday, 9-11 p.m. coming to you straight from the beautiful National Harbor, man. We on the West Coast now too, y'all. So
yes,
buckle up, eat your popcorn, get the popcorn ready. You know, all that other shit they say, man. It's your boy, the criminal, keeping the minimal, dependable, any direction. Heartbeat, #1 host in the history of Go-Go, man. 14 years going strong, we right and never wrong, man. We out, man. Deuce.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This Tommy Guns of iNation Live. You watching the Heartbeat Conga Hour. Subscribe and hit the bell.
Oh my God!
Only on Urban Smart Network. NetworkNetwork.com.